Hello again. The other day I came across this old Agatha Christie novel in one of my bookshelves. When I saw the title, I assumed at once that this was a very ancient copy, dating back perhaps to the 1950s. In fact, this edition was published as recently as 1980, and at that time, using the word in the title was perfectly unremarkable. Today, this word is so taboo that nobody would dare say it out loud or even print it in a newspaper, despite the fact that it appears in any number of classic English novels. The euphemism for this term, the N-word, has become so ubiquitous that it is odd to think that as late as the 1980s, the word itself could appear in this way on the cover of a popular paperback without drawing any unfavourable attention. The explanation, as with so many other aspects of modern British society, lies in the United States, of course. The first mention of the N-word was during the trial of O.J. Simpson back in 1995. One of the police officers involved was an awful fellow who used that word in its unredacted form a lot, and it was read out during the evidence being given. Journalists did not feel comfortable about printing it, especially as the trial had racial implications, and if Simpson had been convicted might have resulted in rioting. So it was they referred instead to the N-word, which is how this euphemism was born. Today, the use of this expression has got a little out of hand. It is not only the racial slur itself which is avoided, but any word which looks, sounds like, or is even spelled in even a remotely similar way, which are avoided. The thumbnail to this video shows a bag of Nyjer seed. These are black seeds which are greatly liked by goldfinches. Because they are black, the Latin name for them is Niger, spelled Niger. However, because his name differs only in one letter from the N word, many people producing birdseed are now altering the name on the bags of seed to Niger, spelled Nyjer, just on the off chance that a black person will see the actual word Niger and take offence because it looks a bit like the N word. In the same way, someone was actually sacked in the United States for using the word niggardly in front of a black colleague who took offence and thought that it sounded very much like the N-word. Niggardly, of course, has no connection whatever with the N-word. It simply means miserly. But it just shows how extraordinarily touchy people are about it. In the same way, there was a fuss recently when it was found that the word Negro was used in some official documents in Britain, and this too was described as the N-word. Negro is, of course, not a racial slur at all. It was used freely by Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and James Baldwin. This touchiness and sensitivity about the matter is growing by the day. I'm bound to say that I find the word unpleasant, and it's not one I've ever used myself. That is a different thing, though, from wishing to see it banned. It is in the United States that it has its origins, and it is there that people are now determined that it should be banned completely, and we are slavishly following their example, as we so often do with fashions from America. America has always been a little bit more concerned about the use of the N-word than we have been in Britain. Joseph Conrad's classic work, The Nigger of the Narcissus, was published in this country in 1897. The American edition from the beginning was renamed Children of the Sea, an early attempt to avoid using the N-word. How long the present use of the word on the covers of copies of this book cannot, I would think, be expected to last much longer in the present climate. There are many words which people find worse and less palatable than the N-word, including some of the slang and demotic expressions for the human genitals, male and female. but nobody is nearly as exercised over them as they are over the N-word. It seems to have become a modern obsession and to have replaced in the minds of many the previous taboo on the use of sexual swear words.